Linda Barcz is here from the Bruce Company, 270-9933. Mum's the word.
It is that time of year to look for some replacement plants. Nothing's had been frosted yet, but boy, 38 degrees, it was a little...
It's going to be 70s by the weekend.
So all of these plants are going to tolerate the cold. The pansies, snapdragons, of course, the decorative kale and Swiss chard. But I did have some questions last time.
We have unanswered questions from last week.
Unanswered questions, yes. And so we do have garlic. Garlic is available for sale. It's a little early to plant it. You want to wait till the first light frost and then plant it 2 inches deep and then cover that with 6 to 8 inches of hay or straw, because then they may start to grow this fall depending upon the weather. And then in the spring, make sure that you keep them weeded and then harvest it about the 4th of July, I think, in terms of that point. And there was also a question about rooting a hibiscus plant. So I did bring in a couple of different kinds of rooting compounds. And the one that has a gel form, that actually is a little bit better on woody stems. Cut a piece that's about 4 to 6 inches, and it's called semi-ripe. They've changed the term since I went to college, Mark, but it's a good way for me to keep learning. So this root gel is a good one to use with woody stems. This other rooting compound, if I can twirl this the right way, that actually works well if you're going to take cuttings of houseplants and things, and then get that started in either sand mixed with peat, and then you're going to have to overwinter it, so someplace cool. But you can do that at this time of the year.
Okay, good enough. Let's get to the phones. We'll start with Ken in Janesville. Hi, Ken.
Hi there.
Hi, which question?
Question on replanting things. Sedum. When is the best time to replant sedum? And I have a couple of small pines that came up from seeds. Do that now or replant them in fall?
If the pines are someplace where you can just let them be, I mean, you could move them if you did them soon, but if they're quite small, I would wait till spring to do that. And then as far as the sedum, oh, that's an easy plant to transplant. That's one that grows just about any time of the year. You could transplant that now or wait till spring, either one.
Okay, that's easy. All right, Joe in Laval. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Hi.
I got some lilac bushes that, around the bottom, they're sprouting up little baby lilacs. Just wondering how to transplant them to move them somewhere else, and when is the best time to do it?
Well, I moved a couple last year, and they just thrive. So usually after the leaves drop is probably the most surefire way, but if you keep them watered, you could actually move them at this point. But otherwise, transplanting, you typically want the leaves to drop and then to move it either in the fall or again in the spring.
Do they bud in the spring or the fall?
They will leaf out next spring, and then, of course, they won't flower yet because they're going to be too small.
All right, Peggy in McFarland. Hi, Peggy.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, I have a peace plant, and the tips of the leaves keep turning brown.
That's a common problem on that plant. One of the things I suggest is to make sure that you don't have any salt at the base of the pot, like this plant here. See, this has nice, fresh soil growing, and there's no salt buildup. If you look at your pot, see, can we see that? There we go. See, it's a nice dark color, and there isn't any salt buildup. If you check your plant and there's sort of a whitish coating on the soil, then you want to scoop that off, put it underneath a faucet and drain let a lot of water run through, so you drain out all the salts, and then use something like, rainwater is the best, but as long as you don't use softened water from your tap to water it, that will help.
Yeah, that is very common. I have that too. Tim in Stoughton. Hi, Tim. What's your question?
Hi, Linda. I've got a 1-year-old lilac bush. Received it this spring from the Arbor Day Foundation. It's about 8 inches tall out in the backyard. And the leaves are starting to get a whitish, for lack of a better word, a moldy look to them.
Yeah, it sort of looks moldy, but it's actually something called powdery mildew. So it is a fungus. This time of the year, don't worry about that. It's not going to harm the plant. It's very common that occurs, and then you start all over next year. And if depends upon the weather. If we have cool conditions and a lot of rain, then you're more likely to develop powdery mildew. And if not, then they stay clean.
All right, let's go to Emily in Poinette. Hi, Emily.
Yes, hello.
Hi, which question?
Yes, I have a couple of pots on the deck with flowers in them, a mandevilla and a hibiscus, and I was just wondering what I could spray them with to keep from bringing bugs in.
Okay, that's a very good idea, Emily. It's a little early to start. You could do it this early, but I'm going to wait until a little bit later. And check the undersides of the leaves, and then I like neem oil. That is a good product, all-purpose. If you have an insecticide that can be used in those plants, but make sure you get the undersides as well as the upper surface.
Yes, all right, if you're on the line, stay there. Linda will talk to you off the air. We'll see you in a week, and we'll be right back with the final check of your forecast.